little bit about the storage inside the car. With my other cars, I was very used to having a storage inside the door in here. Tesla doesn't have any of those pockets or any of the 4 doors. So you kind of have to get used to it, and there's no storage in the back of the seats. First couple of days it bothered me, but as of now I think it's just less garbage getting accumulated in a car. So I'm actually kind of grateful for the lack of it. Around the front seats there are 3 areas where you can store your things. The first is the glove compartment, which is quite sizable. It's kind of hard to show because it's dark, but you can fit white peas and glasses and a couple of other small things in here. And then there's a storage right underneath the screen, which I use for remote and actually glasses because they're easy to access, and I put my cell phone in there. And the middle console, which is just big empty space, was kind of odd to me at the beginning, but right now I discovered it as the perfect place to put my bag, and I can access all the things in it really easily without having had to turn around and access it from the back, from the floor of the back seats. So super handy. The design of the cup holders needs a little bit more work. It fits most of cups and coffee cups and things like that. It doesn't fit bigger bottles, and it doesn't have that inside plastic grabbers that just keep your cup steady, which a lot of cars have. So it's slightly wobbly even if the car fits in the coffee holder. The space here closes, so if you don't want to show it, you don't have to. And at the beginning, the location bothered me a lot. It kind of felt odd to have it right underneath your elbow. But during driving, it doesn't seem to bother me or be in a way. The one feature of Tesla Model S that I found super family unfriendly, actually, is their AC system, which doesn't let me regulate the AC speed or temperature in the back of the car. It just lets me regulate the temperature and the fan speeds, the temperature on the left and the right, and then the fan speed overall for the entire car. So when the kids are sitting in the back, and their daddy really loves to be super cold, they have to be super cold. It's the AC vent in the back, and it doesn't even have an option to shut it off. Or shut it off partially, which a lot of other cars just have with a knob on the side. You can just put it up or down, and what we tend to do, we just tend to direct it to the floor. But it still gets pretty cold up here. We're in Florida, so AC is a pretty important feature, and I imagine this is the same about heat as well. If you want your kids to be warmer and you don't like to be warmer, then you can't really regulate that very well. One baby-friendly feature, and this is something my baby loves, is the sunroof. And this is a big sunroof. It goes all the way from the front of the car to the back of the car. And because he's turned back, he doesn't really see much out of the way. This kind of would be his perspective sitting in here. So looking up and be able to see the clouds and buildings passing and trees, this is quite entertaining for him. A few other things that I appreciate about the car, and they're going to be, each of them kind of deserves their own video, but one of those things is being able to select any radio on the internet that you would like. So with kids, for example, Polish, I love the kids to be listening to Polish music. I love picking a baby radio from Poland. Really, any radio that has an online stream you can feed through here, and your kids are going to be super happy. You have children's stories, podcasts, anything. It's a really great entertainment for the kids. Another very nifty and super helpful feature I wanted to talk about are the Tesla handles, the door handles. For a mother of 2 that constantly carries her children, doesn't have any spare hands, this is an awesome feature. Well, the car is locked right now, and you see the handles are flash with the body of the car. I don't need to frantically be looking for the keys in my purse. The car senses I'm around and the keys are near. I just have to press on it, and voila. So even if I'm carrying 2 kids, I can still open the door and access my car. The very standard already but important feature when you have children in the car is the ability to protect the lock of your back door so the children don't get out of the car. Here, you don't do it manually, you do it electronically from your settings panel. You slide the child protection lock on. And doing it this way is actually super useful because when you have adults in the car and you forget that you have the child lock on, you can just slide it off, you don't have to get out of the car, and the doors are going to be released. Another one is being able to block the windows in the back, which this car also has. But as I said, it's pretty standard recently. And lastly, a little bit more about the Tesla's battery and the driving range. This is a 60 kilowatt model, and it's rated for 208 miles of continuous driving without charge. And Tesla recommends you never charge the battery all the way. So after our last night charge, I've driven already almost 20 miles, and I have 148 miles left. Based on how I was driving for the past 30 miles, my projected range right here is 108 miles. So you can see the spikes where the driving was more aggressive. And the valleys when it was a lot calmer. So how you drive makes a huge difference in how much battery you spend. Overall, unless you have way more than 100 miles to drive every single day and you're a super aggressive driver on top of that, your battery will never be an issue. Another important portion of the storage is the back trunk, which is pretty sizable. This is a Upper Baby Vista stroller fitting inside with the buggy seat, so it's for 2 kids, and it fits really well inside, comparable to a big SUV